Today I'm with one of the beautiful hearts of the world, Hanna Hashim, who has come out of hiding to share her love with the world. And I'm so very honored to be the person to interview her and put her out into the world for everyone to see and to learn from. And welcome, Hanna.
Thank you so much for bringing me out of hiding and allowing me to be part of that summit. To be honest, as you probably both know, you and Heather, that I kind of don't believe in myself and much about what I have to offer, and you two have given me that empowerment to come out and say, okay, I actually do know a lot, because if it wasn't for what I have learned over the last 2 years, I wouldn't be sitting here with you right now, smiling and shining and really being collected. I would be like the pot that Heather just showed me, a million pieces scattered all around. So thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's such a joy to be present with you here, Hanna.
Likewise.
And I know you've been on such a journey in your life, Poland to Bahrain and UK and back to Bahrain. And you've been quite on a little journey for your little self. And one thing that really truly shines out is your depth of heart, and the fact that you live around four very powerful little sentences, which are, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. And those four sentences define you and who you are. You live by them. Can you talk about that side of you, because that's your beauty?
Well, before I actually learned those four sentences, there's been a lot more coming, a lot more happening, because that was kind of the final part of my journey when I learned the Ho'oponopono, because that's what it is. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. Well, let's say now, nearly 5 years, I started on the journey. Actually, my journey really started when I went first to Bahrain in 2011. And because I was so extremely unhappy about my life, and I really didn't know where to turn, to be quite frank, because I reached that small island in the Middle East and I thought, what am I doing, God? Why is everything around me so happy and blooming and I am just so miserable? So because I think I was ready, God showed me the way to heal myself. And I started with crystals. Then I reread The Secret, and I read the whole sequel of the same author. And then I embarked on another journey of gratitude, and that really has transformed my life. That was just such an eye opener. Honestly, I can't even stress more than enough that living in gratitude just is so important, and people don't really understand the importance of that. That's stating the gratitude on a daily basis for the little things. It just really makes your life so much easier. So yes, I lived on gratitude on a daily basis, on my not daily basis, I would say even minute basis, because everything was happening around me. I basically said thank you, and I was calling on upon God and angels for assistance, and my life was just so much easier. And it really was, I just didn't know that the life could be so easy. And then I had a lot of setbacks because what I think what I learned um, around 2013 when I went through a series of coaching where it was about Humpty Dumpty falling off the wall, and it did really feel like that because I fell off off the wall, and I put myself together into a different person basically because I started to looking at my world around me with a different perspective, different outlook, and I just realized how much I was actually missing out on the things that they were already there and I didn't notice them because I was so ignorant, arrogant, and ungrateful. I was, and I was just like, oh my God, you know, why I was not brought to this? Maybe because I wasn't ready. But there you go. So that kind of really helped me through the big blow of my life when I lost my first husband because in 2014 he tragically passed away at work, and what I learned really had helped me to get through that difficult time. And then my journey continued, and until I think last year, I think last year was when I kind of again hit the brick wall, and I was thinking, what's going on? Why am I not actually living the life I had in 2013? And I started to question the things. Have I moved back away from the gratitude? Have I not been practicing the law of attraction the same way I was hoping to? Because what happens is that once we learn about something and we implement it, they become our second nature, and we stop thinking about it and become aware of it. So it's sometimes a matter of bringing it back, the things that helped us at the different times to our forefront, and apply them again. So I believe that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So I was ready for the next stage to see what is there I was missing with the law of attraction. So this is where I came across Joe Vitale and the Ho'oponopono, and I actually started to apply that, and that actually has really transformed my life. It was like I was saying, although it says use the four phrases in a random order, but I noticed that at one stage I only had to say I'm sorry, and that had to come from my heart, and I could see the clearing happening. Because as we know, or maybe don't know, Ho'oponopono is really at the base for, there are actually five phrases, but I'll leave that one as a secret for people to find out later on. Because the four main ones is like Shona was saying, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And we need to learn one thing, that when we saying them, we either allowing God to clear the things that need to be cleared in our life, or we focus on one thing that we wish to be cleared by using these four phrases, because that actually clears all the misunderstandings, clears the animosity, and all the negative feelings around the situations. And oh my God, that's actually work. Um, I kind of recently I was using that Ho'oponopono on my way to the airport and back, and I was using to not have a misunderstanding with my husband. And my God, it just, alhamdulillah, thank God. You know, when I started to talk to him, there was, before, at the beginning of the day, there was this anxious argument, and after the whole day of saying the Ho'oponopono, there was nothing there, and I'm just like, oh my God, it works, you know, it actually does work. So I was like, Dear Lord, please guide me to use it more often because it does have got it does have so many benefits. And yes, do need to remember to say it from your heart. It doesn't come from here, come from your stomach. It is the not the not the emotion, the feeling from your heart. And each phrase really needs to be meant when we say it. So when you say thank you, please make sure it is a heartfelt gratitude from your heart. When you say I'm sorry, please say I'm sorry for what I've done. Please forgive me for the actions that led to this misunderstanding and forgive me. So I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. And I love you, Hannah, for who you are, because we we do talk about self-love, but sometimes even myself, I don't quite understand that. So by saying this, I do kind of remind myself that I need to love myself for who I am, not for what people want me to be, because I don't live my life for other people, I live it for myself. So say it from your heart. I love you. And means say it to yourself. Because remember, whatever we say to ourselves, it reflects on outside. So it is a ripple effect to everything around us. Yes, and there is another, the fifth phrase I only recently learned, and I'm gonna leave it as a secret. So if anybody wants to learn, they're very welcome to learn.
Wonderful. Well, there you are. You're going to be full up now, full diary. But yeah, you know, it's one of the things. I mean, you gave so much value there, but one of the things that humanity finds most difficult to say I've learned on my journey is I'm sorry.
Mm,
That
yes,
is, yeah. So to even teach the value of I'm sorry is an incredible gift that you have, because so many, when they make a mistake, put up a brick wall to it. Um, and it just disappears with just being able to say, I'm sorry, doesn't it? And, you know, yeah.
I was going to say that that's probably one of the things I learned that has got the most value in all on the clearing part. When you say I am sorry, it does actually turn tears down the walls, because that I am sorry, we tend to blame everything and everybody around us for things not going right. We hardly ever take responsibility, and in fact we are the ones responsible, because as the people who teach Ho'oponopono, they say if it wasn't for you, the situation wouldn't occur in the first place. So it means if you are in it, it means you are there responsible for it. So you need to take the responsibility for your actions, maybe not actions only, but words, the feelings that all kind of draw the situations to us. Because at the end of the day, as Einstein said, and that took me a long time to understand what he meant by we are all energy, that we are vibrating on certain frequency, and we will draw the good, the bad, the shit, the whatever horrible stuff happens, because this is what we emit. And that's why we need to be so cautious about how we feel, because the feeling draws to us the situations, the actions, the circumstances. So if we can stay on the neutral or even better on the high frequency of love and compassion and forgiveness, then our lives just turn around in 180 degrees. And saying I'm sorry is absolutely crucial to all that. And in healing all kinds of relationships, because we, at the end of the day, we are the ones who are responsible for it.
Yes, yeah. Taking responsibility is so important, and so many find it so very difficult. So, what I was going to touch on as well is the fact that living in Bahrain, you've had such a strong character, because that's quite a male dominating society, isn't it? And yet you've still had your own business, you've still helped other people. So what was that part of your journey like for you? How have you worked with that?
I, well, the fact that I actually stayed in Bahrain was because of I teach English. This is my another profession where my a lot, say 65% of my heart lies into, if not more, probably, because I'm very passionate about it. Because learning the language opened up the doors for me that I never thought would ever be opened. I mean, for coming from a small village in Poland where people are from a working class family, you would never dream about going to live in England for many, many years, then going to live in Bahrain, somewhere in the Middle East that probably never anybody never heard about. So I felt that I had the responsibility and the need to give something back in return for what I was gifted at the age of 9. Because I was gifted with an opportunity to learn English at school, where nobody was able to give me that opportunity because we didn't have the money. And so, coming back to Bahrain, my late husband worked for an institute where he worked with unemployed and taking them back into employment. And yes, that part of our journey brought us together because we actually finally had something to talk about, and we were both really passionate about. And it was such a blow to me when he passed away, because our passion was to set up an institute together to combine our talents together and bring something to life. But it wasn't meant to be, obviously. But I guess staying in Bahrain was because I didn't want to come back to England and live on benefits. That was my other option. After my husband passed away, I had the option to come back here to the UK, struggle, live on whatever there was, or stay there and follow my dream. And I was given that opportunity to follow the dream. The institute that I worked, my husband worked for, they hired me, and we worked on a program together, and we had to um, I had to struggle to get where I was, because at the time the program was not sponsored by governmental bodies. Only just last year the program I had on offer was sponsored by the government. But the journey to that wasn't that easy, because in 2013 I was in a kind of partnership with another colleague, and I had an idea, and he had an idea. We had both passion. We started to work with charities, and things didn't work out basically. And after that blow, I decided that I wanted to bring something different to what is already taught in Bahrain. I didn't want to be like somebody, like all the other institutes following the same footsteps or mimicking one another. And I just thought, please God, just can you help me? Because, and the idea was just like this. I wanted to book a service for my car, and the person I was talking to on the phone, I had this clear feeling that she didn't really understand what I was saying. So I said to her, God, can you please help me find a method that teaches people to understand the way the natives understand each other and be able to respond immediately to something? And mashallah, he didn't, I didn't have, he didn't let me wait for a long time. He just sent me that message within maybe 3-4 weeks, and that was sheer coincidence. It was just amazing the way it was, and it all puts me back to Poland, to my roots. um, well, to cut the long story short, I brought that method to Bahrain. It has been very successful. I was able to run it with the project with Tinguin. I helped many people. The method is still run, not with my name on it though, but I run another program with a charity where I helped underprivileged kids, which that was always my passion, to help the underprivileged, to help them improve their lives by learning the language. And so, and that project again, I thought it was lost because I approached them last year, and when I was very close to getting the contract signed, I was told that somebody else took my place. So I thought, on the whim, I contacted them around June time or May. And I said, okay, guys, are you still interested in running the English courses? Because summer's coming. Would you be willing to do summer courses? So we had a meeting and two, and mashallah, things worked out fine. And we did summer courses then, and we started new classes now. So I'm hopeful that things will just continue to be the way I actually imagine them to be. I do have some uh, things planned. But in terms of working with men in Bahrain, I don't want to be negative about it all because that has taught me so many lessons. But I know that karma is a BIC. She just sorts people out really big time because people thought that, oh, they liked my method and they learned everything from me that they needed to learn. And they just thought, oh, we can do it ourselves. It doesn't work that way. And people, I think they are learning that they cannot just steal ideas from other folks because it's not right. I mean, I worked really hard for it. If the door was shut, I went through the window. If the window was closed, I went through the chimney to find what I wanted to find. And I'm very determined, and I want to stay that way. I came back to the UK now, and I feel my journey hasn't stopped. I've already got millions of ideas to implement, but as everything, it takes time. I just need to be patient and stay focused. So yes, the living in the world of men is not easy, but it has taught me to stay grounded, use my spiritual skills to stay centered and focused and aligned with what I want to achieve, and just forgive them. Because forgiveness, I think, is the one another thing that we tend to forget in our lives. because at the end of the day, the burden is on our shoulders, not on theirs, because they don't really bother about it.
Because they don't understand.
No.
But what what you just demonstrated there is your strength, Hannah, your courage, and your depth. That you can be in these situations and still come out smiling. And you're absolutely right. What I just want to say that what is yours belongs to you. And no matter what other people try to do, it would never be as successful and would never work as well for them, because each person is their own attribute of God. Each person is their unique self, and each person in that unique aspect of God has their purpose and their attributes to give humanity. And they belong to no one else. They only belong to you. And no matter what others try to do, they are yours, and only you can create them in the way that they're meant to be created, because they're of God and they're flowing through you, not the people that are trying to take them from you. And that's an important part of what you've just said, that everybody out there needs to know as well, which is why I've drawn on the point of it.
There is one more thing I wanted.
Yes, yes.
Sorry, I was just gonna say
Please
that
do.
in all this, despite people really hurting me and harming me, and the hardest part of it was to wish them well. Because I think in our human life, we forget that what we wish upon another, we wish it upon ourselves. So no matter how angry and how frustrated we are, just wish them well. Just wish them well and let them basically disappear from your life, because let out of sight, out of mind, they say. And it's the best way. Don't think about them. Just let them go, forgive them, and let God deal with them, basically, and wish them well. Because honestly, I remember from my past, if I wished somebody well, it just came 10 times worse on me. So I've learned the hard way. No matter how angry I am, I don't wish people badly. Because I know God is just going to say, okay, you ask for it, love. Here you are.
Yeah, because what you give out comes back multiplied. So if you wish everybody well, regardless of their behavior, then you will only get more goodness into your space.
Indeed, yes.
Yeah.
And we forget that. We do forget that, because we just... And that's why I probably don't have many friends, because people don't get that. And they don't understand that. They really don't understand that.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty of you, yes. I was just saying, carry on.
No, thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, I'm not used to hearing that I'm so beautiful, so I'm like blushing here. But
I'll get used to hearing it, because I'm going to say it a lot.
Thank you. You're beautiful too, and you are really blossoming. And meeting you in New York, it was like, oh my God, am I really like this? Because I forgot. I really, in all this mundane life and all the struggles I've recently experienced, and I just thought, oh my God, when is this gonna end? I really need some good news. I just need to put my family together, because many people probably don't know that for the last year my family has been separated. My two daughters lived in the UK, and because I remarried, I've got a baby daughter as well. I lived with her and my second husband in Bahrain, and we've had some issues about coming to the UK due to immigration laws, etc. So it's been not possible for us to be together, and the finances didn't help either, because I really wanted my kids to come back to Bahrain, but obviously God didn't want me in Bahrain, so he made everything to guide me to come back to the UK. So here I am. I've got my two kids together. On Saturday, I'm going to see my third baby with my husband. And I pray to God that there is a way to bring my family together in one roof, because at the moment, that's my biggest dream.
Yes. Yes. We were all.
I'm sorry about this, but
No, no, because
I keep looking at the picture of my little baby girl, and I'm like, oh, excuse me.
oh, you're beautiful, Hannah. And you know, such an inspiration as well to the people. Because men, it's not just you that is in this situation, and you're inspiring so many others to not give up on their dreams. And you know, as you said before, you have determination. You see only the end result, and you know, and you are determined to have nothing less than the end result. And that is the key to manifestation.
It is, yeah.
When you see that end result and believe in it, you know, and see it in your space, it can only come.
Yes, indeed.
And, you know, it's just a wonderful, wonderful part of your journey that is a wonderful note to conclude on, because it has so much going on in it, and there's so many people out there that you can help, because it contains so much emotion, because it contains joy, it contains grief, it contains everything all in one package.
Yes, you name it, I've
And
been there.
yeah, and you can help so many, and you've given so much value through what you've said today. And if anybody does want to contact Hannah, the website where you can connect with her details is itsatoughworldouthere.com. And Hannah, is there anything else that you want to say before we finish?
I just wanted to say thank you so much for contacting me, really. And actually, the start of that was to invite me into the group, and the group sending the messages. And I just thought, remember how it all happened? I just said, oh, is there any value in my story? And he said, yes. So I'm really grateful that you have given me that opportunity to come back to where I maybe want to be, but yet not quite believe that I should be. Yet with all the all the things excuse me, all the things that I have been through, I think I certainly can help many people because with all the experiences I've been through, there is always a way I found to help myself with all the different tools I've got in my toolbox. And the toolbox is huge. So if there is anything I can help anybody with, please don't hesitate. We are all here on this planet to learn and heal ourselves to become a better version of who we are at the moment. And I am work in progress, and I will continue being a work in progress for probably till I die. And when my soul moves to another person, it will continue being a work in progress. But for where I am right now, I want to do the less work for the next person who has got my soul, so they've got an easier life than me because they had learned all the lessons and they never have to repeat them again, because it is all about learning the lessons and not repeating them, because we will always be presented with situations in our lives to teach us and learn from it and do it again in a different way. And I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me and thank you.
Thank you, Hannah.